What about this work-shy story? Are we really work-shy as Brits? Apparently Britain is one of the least work-orientated nations in the world, with less than 1 in 4 people thinking their career should come first in life. An international study has been looking at this, and these are their conclusions. The survey of attitudes to employment across 24 countries found that people in the UK were the least likely to say that work was most important. 73% of people said that work was an important part of their life, compared to 96% in Italy or 94% in France. The figures seem to be in stark contrast to the common perception that Brits are among the most hard-working. Apparently not true. Do you enjoy your job? Is that what it is? Jo Mackie is an employment lawyer, joins us on this one afternoon. To you, Jo. I mean, I sort of permed a bit of a positive out of this. I thought, well, maybe we're just better at realising there's a work-life balance.
Hi Ian, first thanks very much for having me. I completely agree. I'm delighted if we don't say that work is the most important thing in our lives anymore.
Yes.
So COVID turned up and has thrown everything on its head. We're very good at working from home. The perception of working from home is we're having a lot easier life than we used to, and I think that's probably true because we don't have the commute time, we get to see our children a bit more. But if you look at the census, the UK census, our working hours have gone up. It's just that we're working at home more, which makes us happier. We've got a decent work-life balance for the first time, I think, in the United Kingdom. I think we work really hard. I look around me, people are working all hours, it's just they work in different places.
Yeah.
I don't buy it that we're work-shy in any way. The people who go to work hard.
And I was quite surprised. I mean, I don't want to kind of just deliberately look at some obvious sort of national stereotypes. I know they're quite fun, you know, in the sort of LO sense of the word. But, you know, there are some countries where people go to bed in the afternoon. And I thought, hang on a second, we don't do that. So, you know, we're clearly ahead of the game in terms of putting the graft in. And, of course, in France, you know, there's very much, you know, from the revolution onwards has been a culture, if you like, of downing tools if things are... I know we've got some strike issues at the moment in this country, but the French have got a PhD in that stuff, right?
That's absolutely right. And we've got strike issues in this country probably because people are working more than they ever have done. Now, Brexit didn't necessarily do any favours to the workforce of the NHS, for example, and nurses and doctors are flat out. We know that they are. You just know anybody who works in the NHS, you know that's the case. What's interesting in this survey, it shows of the 16 to 29-year-olds in the UK, more than any other country, they want to go into work and work.
Yeah.
So all of the young people who are stuck at home during COVID want to go and meet their mates, go out into town after work, socialise, and, you know, work is where most people meet their partners. It's a really important thing to do.
Yeah, no, I agree. I did hear one report that suggested that we were slower at going back to work and in fact, in many cases, still haven't done than other comparable countries. Do you have any intel on that, Jo?
I think we've been criticised by people like Meta and Twitter, who are now X, obviously, for saying that the UK in London, we're going to close the office because you will not work in the office 5 days a week.
Yeah.
The answer to that is, why should we? Our IT people are in demand. They can work in other businesses who don't mean they have to go into office 5 days a week. What we know as a country is you can work efficiently on a hybrid model. That's a great way to work. It saves businesses rental prices. You know, you can go into smaller hot desking outfits. We don't need that old school of working anymore. I think it's an evolution in the workplace. It's a great way to be.
There it is, Jo. Thank you. Jo Mackie, employment lawyer, with us here on TalkTV. Thank you to her.